28-year-old Nyla Franklin worked as a sales rep for Eli Lilly. She was popular, vivacious, and attractive, with a busy social calendar. That changed in the spring of 2006 when she fell in love with Reginald Potts, a self-described real estate investor who presented as an eligible bachelor with a lavish lifestyle, a penthouse in the South Loop, a Bentley, and money to frequent upscale restaurants and trendy clubs. But as it turned out, Potts was neither single nor successful. It was around September of 2007 when Nyla learned of Potts' double life, a con man who had been in and out of prison for crimes ranging from vehicle theft to aggravated battery. Worst of all, she discovered he was married and had fathered 3 other children. Nyla ended the relationship, but Potts would not take no for an answer and left a series of voicemails promising to make her disappear.
You were not somebody who I wanted in my life. You were not someone who I want to continue to talk to. You were not someone who I deemed would even have the quality at all for me to even have something serious with.
On the afternoon of September 18th, 2007, Nyla vanished. Her body was found 9 days later in northwest Indiana. Authorities quickly turned their eyes on Potts. On the day of her disappearance, cell towers tracked his and Nyla's phones from downtown Chicago to Hammond, Indiana. Surveillance footage outside her apartment shows Potts following her into the parking garage. When police searched his apartment, they found Nyla's personal effects, including an iPod that had been wiped clean. Potts was charged with first-degree murder and held without bail. In retaliation, he did everything to delay his trial. On numerous occasions, he fired his court-appointed lawyers, only to ask the judge to reappoint them months later. He clashed with prison guards on an almost daily basis, earning 200 infractions before the trial even began. After 7 years of delays, Judge Thomas Gaynor said enough was enough and forced the matter to hearing. During trial, evidence of Potts' abusive behavior was admitted over his objection. His ex-wife testified about beatings she received at the hands of Potts and how he had threatened to kill her. Potts didn't testify. Instead, he relied on the testimony of Aaron Allen, who claimed he was chauffeuring the defendant around on the day of Nyla's disappearance. During closing arguments, the prosecution referred to Potts' faux lifestyle by calling him Mr. Bentley and Mr. Two-Story Condo. After brief deliberations, Potts was found guilty. At sentencing, Judge Gaynor ripped into Potts, calling him a conniving coward of a con man, and sentenced him to life in prison. Potts appealed, blaming both his lawyers and the prosecution for his conviction.
And again, I'd like to thank voice artist Khrystine for being kind enough to work on this very complicated case. And turning to the legal issues on appeal, Potts raised everything under the sun, but what I found interesting is the case law discussion on what is and what isn't a proper closing argument. Namely, Potts took issue with the prosecutor calling him these kind of sarcastic names like Mr. Bentley, Mr. Two-Story Condo, Mr. High Rise, and Reginald Bullseye Potts. Prosecutors, however, are afforded wide latitude in closing argument, and even improper remarks, well, they don't merit reversal unless they result in substantial prejudice to the defendant. So the use of mild sarcasm or invective is not prosecutorial misconduct. Plus, unflattering appellations, well, they're not improper where they are supported by or there is a reasonable inference from the evidence. In this case, notwithstanding his guilt, Potts was a loser who pretended to be wealthy by borrowing from anyone and everyone, then kind of skipping out on the bill. Now, this was a long opinion, 81 pages, which is, well, about 4 times the length of the average appellate ruling, at least from my experience. Obviously, the court is going to take as long as they need to issue their findings, but perhaps it's fitting that after Potts made the victim's family wait 10 years for justice, the court made him have to wade through 81 pages to learn his fate. Anyways, that's all I have. Thanks for watching.